Tongge doje joje zon ro jinja mado doja bonjam ba serja lombo dabar jibek shakje jabe jodong jon zar dorjen janje delo naro dam maba mala jeje gambo ba pamo ba jawan rogong ba Kajo lama nanje da jon je da nan de na zera dam je da lama la ba la ye ji so zong lao zong yan de nyam ze nga la wan den de don jen de pe ge le zo da ge lo ji zong de ba ra jin je la de zo chu lam dan de ba ra jin je la de zo lan chu wa se ba ra jin je la de Chubay Jizan Javar Jinja Labdo Zor Gange Denjen Javar Jong Gaba Meba Je Meba Chiba Meba Dai Meba Oh Meba Njo Meba Dade Dume Dunje Me Chuba Nye Je Jeden Ba Zoba Sanje Manam Je Damba De La Janzar De Zhenjian Zaba Lama Jie Gozon Doja Zelan Dada Dage Julan Bed Dage Demba Dan Sunjie Jia Dongjia Jimbo Bar Shinjie La De Zo Tene Tomar De La Tatarangaran Tsoke Gampopa Ke Lamchon Rinchin Chungwa Tikola Ngake xie ke yore chiran tso ke sin ke yore nin ke yore kantar ngarang tso tsama nam chimbo re ande chu tambe chu la lonsu chu ji yo ba te pe sonam chimbo re tene tsama ke tene gawa gom goji kar chimbo re 대단 현직도 나랑 근근이 양 되네 다 롭정다 히체 히라요 말이데 강히히 히에케요레 히바데아제 장초그 셈 롬보체당 드레바 강토토 그 지하근 배주 지고거 요리라 de jikyo ane chirang nam pa ke yang tene da che jancho ku semla sam no tang de tene tanda ga thoni tene sing ke yo pa ke yi chi yo la tene chama ke tanda chi naro ji hyuge
that we have, then we can have really generate a sense of delight. We can to have, to reflect on our fortune with an attitude of joy and delight is really important. And so Kimbola says he himself is not so learned or studied, but he is doing his best. He's doing his best to give us all commentary on these teachings with a mindset of bodhicitta. So he is explaining to us with pure intention to the best of his ability. And so for all of us, for all of you or all of us, then we also, he believes that we are also listening with an attitude of bodhicitta. And so doing our best to listen well with a pure intention of a mind state of bodhicitta, then please and make a point of receiving the Dharma teachings in this way or from that, with that intention in mind.
Tene da tereng hyoya de chirtang katsani de tamse ko la je hyu simbare tene tereng di cho de ke samni jungje hyubaina chirtang da ngarancho 참아라 다 tata pardola teni lama give hini mambu deni teni wang mambo shu yore chu mambo shu yore teni tenda inzang ngarang tsu tsama ke tamtsek la ya de kanda yin pachar ha ko go yore tiga nang yin ke ta gang top top ke sun ko yo bare then tsam tsam ayang new momba tang teni pa mi bawang ke ayang norwa tan chwa shor sungwa ina yang te la xiapa chi ala soba tanda tsame nang ke yore la te go ko yore yeah.
And so today we pick up where we left off yesterday. We went into a bit about the secret mantra or Vajrayana Samayas. And today, just to kind of briefly review, we all have certainly all received quite a number of empowerments and a lot of Dharma teachings from our spiritual teachers. And so as that is the case, then surely we have some familiarity with Samaya. We understand Samaya. And we do our best to keep the Samayas. But of course, sometimes as a result of arising afflicted mind states or afflictive emotions, as a result of heedlessness or lack of mindfulness, sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes our commitments decline. And when that occurs, then there's the opportunity to repair them through confession and purification.
Tani ta tambo tamtsek de yongwar chibala pena ta sangha yigya wen shuba ina tani tamtsek de yongwar chibala tambo te wang la ra le de yobare tani ta wang la ra le de yoba indu tani wang shiba te kandares te ha ko go yore tani te la joban jiktin sungung ke sonne wang topar sibala wang tunda de ha go go yoris wang tunda de ha ma go ba ina tani wang de tobya de skale kapo yore tana song yore tenda yin za ngarang cho ke wang hyuba kapso tani lama gebe hini tamje ke wang ke tunda de lan de nang ko yore and he mambo nang ko yore tikapso nga so ke yapo ni go yore tikapso wang ke yo wang de ti de yapo ni tanda chi ba ina tani ngarang so ke wang ke tamsek lamnari sanga ke tamsek lamnari te yapo ha ko yore tani te yapo ha ko ala tine tani nga so ke tamsek de song yapo song thabadang teni to zam ke che de la tamsek le te sa parche chungwa ina yang shapa la soba tamje ji shiba o tanda inzang teni wang shuba kapso teni lama ge hini namba ke wang ke nandong de hete song ke du tso yapo singo yori namju
And so the way in which we receive the samayas or the commitments or vows of secret mantra is through the process of empowerment. So it is dependent upon receiving empowerment whether we hold the vows or the samayas. How is it then that we receive empowerment? So as Lord Jigten Sumgön said, in order to receive the empowerment, one has to understand the meaning of empowerment. And so if one doesn't understand the meaning of the empowerment, then it's difficult to actually receive the empowerment. Then it's unlikely that one has really received the empowerment. And so as that's the case, this is why our spiritual teachers often, when giving or bestowing empowerment, they often really go to great lengths or they explain the meaning of the empowerment. There's explanation there. And so it's important in that process to really listen to that explanation and to understand well. And then through understanding, then we really receive the empowerment. And likewise, through receiving empowerment, we receive the secret mantra samayas. And if we are listening to the explanation, then we understand also the meaning of that samaya. And then understanding the meaning, we do our best to protect or preserve those samayas to the best of our ability. And then every now and then, perhaps there are obstacles that arise, and there's some fault or deterioration of the commitments, and then there's the opportunity to renew them through compassion and purification. And so in general, whenever our spiritual teacher gives us empowerment, it's important to always really listen well, to be fully receptive to the explanations, to really listen well.
Wang Hubakapso, Wang Tonda, so Yapo Mani Yamuna Yapoha Mago, Tanda Chong Sumaina. Teni Tela Drong to you retain our Chandako Yore. Drong de Kareri Shipaina Naranzo Chao Upa Yoa Koke Jun Tima. Trok the labre June trok. Then June trok the chapsang ke hak tara drink the kahe drink no tatan rewa yujote. Te kare kok June trok nandi tambo kare lare sina magic cola kecha tiris. Churang ke go te leb rindoas go leb. Te kare generally lab tiris. Ngango teni opak palin jarwa. Ngango lebleb yung do bande. Nga kawang mambo shune te ngango the lebleb chasong la race. Ona churanke amcho de teni amcho de ringbo na waji sarwa tesa. Te kare chin tenda chasong la race. Nga chu tsek go ma song chu la bia de tsek go ma song song za nga am cho de ya ring bo cha song la ris. Teni churang ke make the sepor in do de kare chin chung ari la de. Nga ke nom pe ma bo tong yin se nom ma bo tong zam teni nga make sepor cha song la ris. Ona churang ke lakpa te chi jaja ha kogruwa karpo mayin ba napo mayin ba jaja te kare chi cha song la de teni nga ke nom megan thong ma song za nga lakpa te jaja cha song la ris da te na yin je gantar ngaran zo go wang mangpo shu halam masana go lebla yung roana yin wang shuba yin yang wang tonda de ha mo ba yin teni ta ta ho ba la ya de ta chi ba chi jang cha do le nin kha yo ro song zam wang tonda ha go go de pe kar chim bo re de le tin ne teni tam sai ha go yong go yo ro
Tama de Yapokoma song the num make matongwa ki Jimson de sungime. Jimade lapa.
Jima
Upagi lapa.
cook make num chin in Tom Magnola Rita. Num chin in Tom Magnola, they make Tom Magnola. He says he never
never see oil.
He never see oil. That's where his his color is like gray,
speckled. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when we request empowerment or when we receive empowerment, it's if we don't really listen well to the meaning, if we don't understand the meaning, there's a story that kind of exemplifies how that situation is. It's the story of the owl, and the owl told 6 lies or 6 falsehoods. And Kimbola says he doesn't remember every one of the 6, but he remembers a number of them. And so first there's a dialogue between a man and the owl. And the man says, asks the owl, "Oh, owl, Mr. Owl, tell me, why is it that your head is so flat?" And then the owl responds, "Oh, my head is so flat because I've received so many empowerments." And then the man says, "Well, tell me, why is it that your ears are so long?" And the owl replies saying, "Oh, my ears are so long because I have not understood or properly heard even a single word of Dharma, and so my ears have become very long." And then the man asks, "So tell me, why is it, Mr. Owl, that your eyes are yellow?" And he says, "My eyes are yellow because I have taken or I drink a lot of oil." Rebe, drink a lot of oil? Rebe?
Yeah,
Okay. And then the man says, "So tell me, why is it that your claws are gray, are speckled and gray?" And so, and I don't quite get this, but it sounds like he was saying, the owl says, "Because I have never seen oil with my eyes." And so, in any case, is it Dinda Rebe?
Really?
Okay. In any case, this is, we don't want to become like the owl. And so an owl, we don't want to be somebody who receives a lot of empowerment, but really doesn't understand the meaning. If that is the case, then we become like the owl. So that's why it's very important to both understand the meaning of empowerment when we receive it, and to understand and uphold the samayas.
Tate ko opa te ke tambo ko wang mang bo hyun la bra song jam ko ngo lep cha song si ni ba de ko ke chu ha ko ma la ma chu ni ko ma song dharma he said he has never heard dharma.
Yeah. So excuse me, I made a mistake. It wasn't, the second one was not that he never understood the Dharma. It was that he never heard the Dharma. So that's why his ears were long.
Oh, that didn't yin ke teni ta ngaran so ta wang tam sai shibate Khenpo Tenzin yore teni ngaran so la tamtsig yangpo yoba yinna teni tsende la samna tangwa yinna yang teni sambu tong tamje yapon rubya la pinto chenpo yore soso la samba ke tongda rewa anda wo tang rewa mangpo yorwa teni te tsaman rubya la pinto yoba tang teni jewa chimani ta sadan lang gu yungding tam che teni soso ge ju le je ne teni sanje saran ro wala teni jin da parche mayong wa tam che le pin do chimbo yu zang teni nga zo ge sang ha ge tam che lam de ya za chimbo ze godun de cha de yu.
So in this way, the empowerments, the secret mantra, samayas that we receive through empowerment are so important. And if we really if we protect or keep our commitments, our samayas well, then in this life, it will aid us or facilitate us in such a way that we will be able to accomplish our intended purpose. So we have many hopes and aims in this life. And to ensure that there are not obstacles to accomplishing those aims, to ensure that we can actually accomplish those aims, then by preserving and keeping our samayas, this will enable us to do so. Not only that, but it will be of great benefit to us in future lives. Not only will we be able to accomplish the purposes our hopes and goals in this life, but we will also be aided in future lives. And as a result, we will progress along the paths and bhumis, developing the enlightened qualities in our mind stream, and eventually reaching the state of liberation and perfected awakening. And so the benefits of keeping or protecting the samayas are really immeasurable.
Ina yang ngaran zu chi chu dang nyamling gang je ba ina yang wang ji thong ni par de thok go an ra dang tanda ga na wa shar ko yore tene wang de thub de yang ji pam pa la so ba jing go le ja ne tene tanda ga wang jing yang ma du zu ro ji ji to la ma nyong ne te ro ji wang ji thok go te ma tha ba ina tene chu de so tini nyamsul li togum li chog mari tanda sam tongki mambo yong do te tanda mari wang sibate la jutsu malare ba ke song de pampa go to de yoba de che wang labre teni che go chlo go wang li song teni rang li la go gomba de Nanga Wang song, da Shiga Wang the Nanga Wang got it so che de Yoris, Nanga Wang so che de Yorwa. Churang Rani ke Tarate Rani ke da Pumbonga de Sanjinga Dani la Gomnari, Tene Sosok Zopo de Sosok Yadangla, Perna Gypsum Roma Tabe, Kine Zektabe, Gang the Gang Gomba Inayang, and Redo Yor Teko, Rani ke Nanga Wang cha de yore. Teni sosu ke semji ngo chun ro ba de sosu semji rang chun ro ba de kona ni ge wang song de da wang nang ge chod de ba de cha de yore wa. Den de pampa la so ba chilo le de ngo le ju le yo ne de da ji ya de che ge wang zam chun zi dai wang zam cha de yore. Te in zang nga zu ga de na tendra je ma tho ba yin na teni chu xian kin ge xie chog ma ri teni ko ge sang la chap da xiu ji ro do ko ge wang nang yo ma ri de sang la xiu xian do tendra ge ma ma bo ting kin sang kin yo re de dong da de ta ta ha ma bo jin sin ge cha yong yo re
Gongda de jema de ya poko ma song chapter la sopa kare.
This go they ha Tengi jini xiang che tata katse kowa ne te chik song ngak te che non tramari te.
So then So we tend to think that that the Dharma practice is dependent upon receiving empowerment, and so there's the thought that it's very important to receive the physical empowerment for the vase to touch the head, to taste the nectar, to drink the nectar from the vase. And if that doesn't happen, then we think, maybe we're not able to practice the Dharma. There are many who think that way, who really feel like it's completely dependent upon this outer empowerment. But as Jetson Milarepa said, the vase when the vase touches one's head, this is merely the outer empowerment, but generating one's own form as the enlightened form of the Yidam deity is the inner empowerment. So between outer and inner, the inner is the more important. And so visualizing ourselves in the form of the Yidam deity, as Aryatara or as Chandrazik, Avalokiteshvara, this is really the meaning of the inner empowerment. And then to realize the true essence, to directly realize the true essence of one's own mind, this then is the suchness empowerment. And so the vase, receiving the vase at the crown, or the vase touching one's head, is merely the symbolic empowerment, or the outer empowerment. That's all.
Tene mambo che ke kare drink yore sina o tangala pempa ngola ya masong te jim chin ke tene nga wang tha masong tene che la duzli te masong tene te nga wang tha masong sam tene mambo ke tra drink yore tene te tandra mari so ke ta lama gevishini ke churang ke yedang ko la gomdang ngo tre churang ke tene semjung ngo ne lok de kanda yimi tandang ngo tre yong bakap so te churang la wang thom ro ko yore tene yang tala dong je yore te dong lam na te ngu ne chor ke dong je yore te dong te kare ri shubayina teni Gampopa jutsun mala repan dunda yogde ta tri damwa yongso zogba top teni ti jine korang yuksa la pepne teni simjin tamche la chujen kolo kor lakpar to teni chaja chimbo ke teni damwa menga gomnyamni tamche teni nangne teni simji mambola tena nang teni chujung kolo korne yogde bakapso teni lama yimba che yore konga lama keda chimbo ri kapte de teni kongke Gampopa la ser chimbo che per kor ser tenyam de la teni yige che tri ne teni tangyong ware yige dinana kare lavyore shubayina Gampopa chiranke wang manang ne teni chaja chimbola soba ke minga mamboje mayina nang dos teni te chirang tena majiro te sanga ke nyamlin daola tena yonga mari son te Gampopa la tena la res yige dinana teni Gampopa ke ser tele che zamje nyamda yang yige chitiris ti yige dinana kare son yore shubayina nga ke tara chu xiejude jancho ke samrombo che ta derne teni chu de xie ke yos tena yinzang durza simjin mampola pinto chimbo yongendo son teni kantar te yige telin tena pa tangwaris 다 되게 돈다 가르 효과 요랬으나 배나 집지 말아래 봐 작포는 요네 된다 제자 콜로마 장부 값서 레청발라서 봐 장부 값서 범팔라서 봐그 딱바르 왕건도 제 요 말해봐 드니 말아래 발라 범팔라서 봐그 착진장 메와 있는 양 드니 따라 지는 라그 곰바 난그 왕당 드니 세미 라무 조바 테코나니 그 왕라서 봐 탐지 거네 드니 주 오서 차자 침볼라서 봐그 당와데 난그 요르와 어때 인상 양아 저 딱바르 왕지이나 출로 그 범바진 골 요고 삼도야 티나 마인 pujimsin there is
Kung ta Khenpo nga mambo yabo koma song mambo la song taste
때 뭐, 제 마원 사데 nga ka reng tare sonza 제 같이 고사트나
ring da yin ba yu ma de gain tenek di tamala yaga ko song chikchina de yangchar dor dupa chik sungna tene chikchina dunda de ha ko nam chin chagre sam
ore de ri nge 양장 건 셔 당연한 그去年里几不搞说王这个把的狗里
Gampopa
Gampopa
Gampopa di dong di mato rela
teni chi tambo te song yana nge Gampopa dong de jin hyona
oh okay
pajetega
okay so many think that the empowerment is really, when one receives the outer empowerment. So when the vase touches the head, when they drink the nectar, the dutsi, and if they take an empowerment and they don't get the vase, the vase isn't touched to their head, or they're not given the nectar, then they think they haven't received the empowerment. But if actually the empowerment is not received through these outer symbols, but when the spiritual teacher gives the instruction through which one has like an experience of actually generating one's form and the enlightened form of the deity, or when upon receiving an introduction to the nature of mind, that signifies that one has received the empowerment. That's the real meaning of receiving the empowerment. And then Khenpo La went into a story about Gampopa, and I didn't catch all of it, so I'm going to ask him to repeat it, and then I'll do my best. Okay, Russell?
Teni ta Gampopa teni malare pukumdun la chinte teni danga mambo shu teni danga to chama top chardu teni korang ke payo la pa lo somaris teni korang payo la lo ne teni kongketa koloma tamchela teni chujung kolo korbaris chujung kolo korne teni lapar to tata chaja chimbola sobage danga mambo nawaris loma tamchela danga ta kati mambo nawaris kap te du teni lama yimba cheke Gampopa la teni ser che puparis ser che pu ser tinyam de la yige chek tangwari yige tenana kare lab yoris na Gampopa chirang ki chaja chimbola soba tamje loma tamje la nangkando ina churang ka wang nangkam do ten de ke yomari labris Gampopa la Teni Gampopa ke Tata Lama de la Pa Lin Jik Tangwaris. Lin Kare Tangwaris na Nga ke Chaja Chimbo ke Kachu Nangdo ande Chancho ke Semta Dren Nang ke Yuzang. Teni Kantarda Chirang Semda Gogumari Song Lama de la Pa Lin Tenda Taparis.
Then they do Kongyang ser chea chek dang yigen chine lama shimba de la poyore.
Lama de ser dodo je ser nang de Gampopa ser tele chua je pa nang do.
Mazo. Okay, that goes on to Chino. So then there's a story about so Gampopa, when he was in the presence of his spiritual teacher Milarepa, he received many profound instructions and in particular instructions, the direct instructions on Mahamudra and so forth. And then after, having been in the presence of Milarepa and received all of his transmission and teachings, and of course, Milarepa himself did not give many empowerments because he didn't have he didn't have the empowerment substances and so forth. And so, when in his meditation cave with Rachunpa and the others' presence, for instance, when he gave direct transmission or empowerment, it was without kind of the formalities of empowerment. It was mostly just direct transmission. And so, Gampopa, then having been empowered by Milarepa with all of the blessings and realization of his teacher, he returned home to his homeland or his hometown or the area where he was from, and he turned the wheel of Dharma. And in particular, when he turned the wheel of Dharma, he taught on Mahamudra. He gave many pith instructions on Mahamudra. And at one point, there was another Lama who sent Gampopa a piece of gold together with a letter. And in this letter, he addressed Gampopa saying, you give a lot of teachings on Mahamudra, but you don't give any empowerments. Why is that? You really ought to give empowerments. And so then not Milarepa. Did I say Gampopa? This is Gampopa. Then Gampopa responded to the Lama saying, so he actually sent the Lama a bigger chunk of gold, and he wrote his own letter and explained that he said, I have the profound pith instructions of Mahamudra, and when I teach Mahamudra, I do so with the completely pure mind of bodhicitta, and so therefore you don't need to worry. I'm doing just fine. That's all.
Really. Then Chitang ngarang so ke pamba lo so pa chi wang top tani yedang ko la rani la ke gomba la so ba nang ke wang ya top tani semni rangu chu pa tani te ko na ni ke wang thopa ina tani pe ya bo re ba nge tata hyu pamba la so ba wang de gog mari te la ko yo mari the so pampa la so bawang the hyuba kapso teni yedam ko la gomya dang gom dang dang te ha go go yure te karchim bori yedam ko la tam je gom ne teni semje ne lok te ran thu go yure semje ngo ne lok chu da chu ji yen Chuni Tombani Yamana Damiba Karmeng Mandar Mazotonda Jibarwa. Ta te toba in the wang tabri. Ta wang tab sen du garis namju rumbo jabjin garchin rumbo jike yangse songo yoro. Wang tab shiba the children la wang ra toko yoro is sonra. Then you naturally kinds the children wang tab zone du rawang ra je top yung yori wang tab de rawang gadu toko yori sena. Chug same jinelo dona che rawang tab sare. New Mumba Jatong Chambam Kaya, no Jitoko Mari Dickups. Sonza, Tani, Korak and Nangla Churan de by in a young, then Corbett Jung and Maguba, la the Chayong. Sonza de Dutachula, then Dako, don't tobacco on the top song. Then Ryan Naranzo get Deconanic Wang, John the Semi Rango to Bate, Deconanic Wang in Bijunsin, there is.
So, in general, when we receive the base empowerment, and this is the outer empowerment, and when we meditate on our own body as the enlightened form of the Yidam deity, this is the inner empowerment. And if we have recognized the true nature of our own mind in this process, and that is the empowerment of suchness. So Khenpo says he's not saying that we shouldn't receive the base empowerment, that there's no purpose or need to receive the base empowerment. We should receive the base empowerment, but more important is that when we are receiving the base empowerment, that we are generating our own form as the enlightened form of the deity. More important is the inner meaning of that empowerment, and to recognize, to be in such a state that we are able to recognize the true nature of our own mind, the Dharma Dhatu, which is the essence of emptiness, or the truth of selflessness. So actually there are many names or terms to describe this meaning, but there's a single meaning. And so as Garchen Rinpoche often says, through receiving the empowerment, one attains real freedom. One becomes free or independent. And so through what does that mean? Because when we realize the true nature of our mind, then we have real independence, we have real freedom, because even if hundreds of afflictive emotions or discursive thoughts arise in the mind, if one is dwelling within or recognizing the true essence of awareness, the true essence of one's own mind, then they cannot do any harm. Then even if one moves throughout the world, one remains unstained by the mud or the faults of samsara. And so this is the real benefit of the suchness empowerment. So this is when the reason for really realizing, through the blessing of empowerment, to be able to recognize or to be introduced to or understand the true essence of one's own mind is really precious.
Teni joban jiktin sunggung ke sombare yang kare sombare hyubayena cherang tablam naru chudola soba tanje gom ta masong san tenda sempane ne de bayena teni churang ke chaja chimbo jingang ne teni yedam ko lako la soba tamje nyamni chida tearang ke ndegeri songre te tablam naru chudo knyingbo songre churang ke tablam naru chudo nyamni te ched yori songre tenga ke 대가전 저런서 대 라고메 대 조반 지틴 송공께 대 까딘 셈타 주바 손에 대 냠거 요래 대손 담바 요래 Gardin Senta Juba the Dambastion or the son Yore the Sonji Bayana Tini de in the Tarton du Maranzo ke Don Tek Nango Wangdang Tini Tekona Nico Wangde da Zachimbo Yambate Chingo Yore.
And so, Lord, Kyoba Jigten Sumgen has said that if one has a sort of a regret or concern, thinking, "Oh, I haven't been able to meditate on or practice the path of method as the 6 yogas of Naropa as the path of method," and Lord Jigten Sumgen said, thinking that actually is mistaken, because the Fivefold Path of Mahamudra, in which one meditates on one's own form as the Yidam deity and so forth, if one practices the path of Mahamudra, then this becomes the same, or this serves no different purpose than the path, the 6 yogas as the path of Naropa, as the path of supreme method. And so Kimbula said he's not just saying that, kind of for the heck of it. These are actually the real, like direct and profound pith instructions that come directly from Kyopa Jigten Sumgen himself. And so the point being that the inner empowerment, receiving the inner empowerment and the empowerment of suchness, the suchness empowerment is really so precious and profound.
Tambo te hugan, yin yang a kachita, Pampala sobaga wang to so gogomare, Naro chudro to so gongomare, te laukoyomare, te conor temning mares.
But however, please don't misunderstand him and think that he's saying, the vase empowerment is unnecessary, or the 6 yogas are unnecessary, the 6 yogas of Naropa are unnecessary. He's not saying that.
Naro chudola soba gogomari in a lab means so the you Nyami Nawa the Pemasi Yapuri. Te Laura.
You did not love yore, unnecessary yomare. Or unnecessary love yore, yomare, love yomare. So he just wants to make sure I said it correctly. He is saying, he's not saying you don't need the 6 yogas. He's not saying you don't need the vase empowerment. He's not saying they are unnecessary.
The social same can nelok the ha go so maina, tenin dixare, teni lama gevishini tingo samare, wandanga hyogo samarewa sambaina, tanda mare, soso ranke gon yamni nang sem go jong de baina yang, teni korsa dan norsa, mambo yore, teni korsa dan norsa, so nor de teni lama gevishini, tanda country husa. Tanda me pa ina teni samsang soso teni yang lamlo pa roya ke ninka chimbo yu chang ta soso la semgo tungkin ke semjingo nelo tungkin ke lama gebshi ni parto go yore.
And so also it's not, one shouldn't think, all that is necessary is to realize the true nature of my mind. And if I realize the true nature of my mind, that's all I need. I can meditate on my own. I don't need to rely on a spiritual teacher. That's definitely not the case. One shouldn't conceive of it in this way, because even if one has the ability to recognize the true nature nature of your own mind, and to sustain that recognition to some degree, there are still many pitfalls and ways of or possibilities for going astray on the path. And so it's really crucial to have a spiritual teacher who can guide one, who can help ensure that one doesn't fall into like mistaken views or mistaken paths, that to ensure that one doesn't go astray, or fall into error in one's meditation. And so if, when it comes to the true nature of mind, it is especially important to have a spiritual teacher, a guide to rely upon.
다 lama ngokarni je hyuba ina 다 lama ke lakpar to sangha ke tamchek la soba tamji hie yundu teni loma ke da di samba samno tang tendra ha ko goyate karchimbori ma to ke sangha ke tamchek yang samno chawa ni ma tang pa sangha ke tamchek hie jang jeba ina teni te yungo yomare sangha ka tamchek nana yang hie choba da ma choba mambo yore
Is there? Oh, okay. Awesome. And so when it comes to the secret mantra samayas, the Lama also has samayas with regard to the students. So for instance, so the Lama has to understand well the constitution or the mind state of the student, and in order to understand, for instance, what is appropriate. Within the secret mantra samayas, there are there are certain samayas that it is that one is allowed to explain, and certain samayas that are not, that one is not allowed to explain based on, I think, the level of the recipient or the capacity of the recipient.
Pensunje Kubaina, Tara Narangsoga, Zadang, Long La Soba, Zalong La Soba, Gorni, Deniang, Zamzang, Chuni, Loma La Hie Chogumari, Loma La Wang Tsumina, Hie Chogumari Drinkendoa, Teta Mare, Berna Zai Nam Ya Hie on Bogabso, Mazo Bobake, Bumi tang tumong ri de pa pe mangbo yore de so hie choko yore hie choko yore la loma ge de lobjong ke na beton jang choko yore yang za kon na lo la de ni sanga ko landrawa mixa wa ri de ba tendra de ni loma la loma yang na wang mi de ba tang yang na loma de la kare la goro tata Semo la soba Latini tanda ke junga mi paina yang to so Latin yana yang te ke pin to chembo yong yo mare tena enza ten lama la yang yong ting go wa de ha kar chembo cha de yor lama ge shini la yong ting go wa de kar chembo cha de yor teni yang hie na chap chang hie yo ya na ta ma hie na jang ma hie wa te ta ba mare si.
Okay. So also sometimes, in the context, for instance, of the instructions, certain secret mantra instructions like those on the channels, winds and drops, there's the thought that it's not permissible to speak of these or to explain these teachings if, for instance, the student doesn't have the empowerment, or if they're not of proper capacity. But actually, it's not that it's not permissible or that it can't be explained. It can be explained. But if the student doesn't have the empowerments and is not of capacity, and likewise, if the teacher, for instance, doesn't have the necessary qualities, isn't really qualified to teach on those things, then even if they teach it, then it ends up not really being of any real use or benefit. It becomes, it really isn't, it just simply isn't of much benefit.
동다 타르도나 다 장초크 셈케 지심부터니 데니 추책직면서 마시나야 때 장초크 셈케 지심부터니 다 해고고 요리 된다 종소바이나 데니 들자라 핑톤도 요리 데니 데솔라 고 가자카양 미바레
But so ultimately, or really, as long as whatever dharma, even a single line of dharma, if it is explained or taught with an attitude of bodhicitta, then there is real benefit. Then whatever the dharma it is that is taught is beneficial.
Malare pake sumbare, kang sumbare hubaina. Long down, rikpa down, minga la soba mambo, you debaka lama tela, ta lama yapo, lakuyoris, tate lama yapori, lakuyoris, teris, lama yaporis. Yene yang tukje dan rewa jik jin de che song rewa, te yendu, ta chi long da minga tsama yo deba gang la, tene chorang la jamba da nyingje yo gogri song re, te yo na tene chorang ne pe chorang ki jincha ya khu te yo deba re song doa, te yendu nga so ta jancho ku sem rumbo che tang, tsewa nyingje chimbo to so kanda, kar chimbo yenba, to so ne ha gogo yo re.
As Milarepa said, many will say, that a lama or a teacher who is very learned or prolific with scripture and reasoning and pith instruction, a lama who's well versed in scripture, reasoning, and pith instruction, is a good lama or a good teacher. But if such an individual explains these topics together with an attitude of bodhicitta, or the mind of bodhicitta, if they really have love and compassion, then they become truly a brilliant ornament among beings, or then they are really a truly extraordinary or a truly great teacher or lama. And so this just emphasizes the importance, again, that the most important factor is the intention or the attitude of love and compassion.
Tani ta sangha ga zatong korne je hyubayina karzang gonglu hyubana yi zatong sayam bumde so ne pe rangga mambo sungge yore ta na nga so ge ta na hyunmen ta dorje da driven zindang la so ba chunchu la yang tani tamse yoba ke tone ndri na yong ge yore te enza sangha ga tamse rangga mambo ja chimbo re te tserde na sangha ke tamsek juge darang zuge zadong juge zodo dinana tserde ke yore ta dinang ke gashe darahe goyando yongkomdo tening gashe yang soso ke tana ha ko deba le labon ro je yore ina dinene ta donda ni zamla hyuge ins.
So in any case, as we mentioned during the last session, that there are, when it comes to the downfalls of Samaya, the secret mantra downfalls, there are actually millions, so millions of vows, or millions of ways in which the downfalls can be explained, or millions of possibility for downfalls, and likewise millions of variations of these secret mantra vows, and among those, for instance, we have like the vow of never parting from the Vajra and bell and so forth. So they're really the secret mantra vows are very vast, but if you condense them all, they can all be condensed into the 14 root downfalls. And then within those, it isn't really necessary to explain all of them, but there are some that one can easily understand if one becomes familiar with them. And today, Kimbola said he will address two, or he'll explain or expand upon two of these 14 root downfalls.
Te jubi nangke yaba tela te songre. Simji namla tene jamba pang yaba yina. Tene zatong yaba yinba te tene zobo sanje jomden dek songba reis. Tene simji namla jamba pang yana zatong yaba te yina. Simjin tamje la jamba de kanraba pangre de tringra ta nga so chwa na te rewa simjin tamje la teni jamba pang lamde chukista simjin tamje la samba ngimba jewa te sa kale khapo yorwa simjin tamje la yin ya chok simjin jigla meine Teni churam maga sa ke simjin chegla megden. Teni sitinre ke kanza te teni dewa tang teni dewa de ke jua te tang medin ba sho nya ba ke kunong che nam chi ba ina ya teni skap te de la teni sanga ke tamchik zatong ju yi ba nang ke tene de yibate jungko yobate tene jarwa zobu sanje ke sungbare songre.
So first, the fourth of the root downfalls is to abandon love for sentient beings is the fourth root downfall, as it is taught by the fully perfected Buddhas. And so first, when we read this, we might think, well, how would it be, to abandon love for all sentient beings? What does that look like? How does that happen? So it isn't, actually, to have like a really strong sense of ill will or hatred towards all sentient beings is unlikely. But actually, what this vow is referring to is actually any sentient being. So for instance, if toward one individual or one sentient being, one, with anger or hatred in their mind, thinks towards that sentient being, may that person or may that being, may that individual never have happiness, may they be separated from happiness, and may they be without the causes of happiness. And to have, fully giving rise to that intention, to have that kind of attitude directed toward any sentient being constitutes this fourth root downfall, as it is taught by the fully perfected victorious ones.
Ngowi chani sano tamwayi na ta simjin tamje la samba ngimba ji yaba ke ngowa rawa ji cha yongko yore songre yongbu jimtsin kanisi na chu simjin jik lu tang yaba yina teni choga namjun simjin tamje dewa da dinhyo shibakabje simjin tamje de chang yoma re sitina simjin jik lu tang tsare 심진 찍루 땅사바 인장 ngobichane tene chu simjing tamje la de da samangi bachi yabataje cha yong yoris yena ya churang mikpa te simjing tamje la men tene de da koranzo dewa da devjeta medinwa ke kulongde yong mare de da ngobichane tena yong yuba yochang ganza re ni re la men ne ya tene samngi de pango yoris.
And so actually from the perspective of the essence of, then actually the meaning is that one is abandoning all sentient beings, love for all sentient beings, because if one has abandoned even one single sentient being, even if one continues to have the sort of the, or the aspiration, for instance, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. Well, all beings are no longer complete in that aspiration because because you've left one out, you've abandoned one. And so therefore it is no longer all sentient beings. And so to abandon one sentient being actually means to abandon all sentient beings. So when we have love and compassion directed to all beings, but we leave out one or two, then it no longer is an aspiration that includes all sentient beings without exception.
Then zatong jubiye nangge trukpa de hyugein tel kare song re hyubaina rang tang rang tunta rang chulok rang chuju tang tani rang yin trupata telema patrupa tani yin tunta chulok yin pen nga cho tara nangba re tin nangba ma yin chulok yin ba tu cho lo mu ba je tu cho lo jung ju je ba yin ya tani sanga ke zatong trukpa cha yong ge re song re 강선 돌진 좀 하는 거로 되게 되는 이번 저도 하나 되게 가는데 동안이 많이 돌리고 나와요. 신나서 뭐 요한 취해서 뭐 랑은 이제 주변 다 출을 못 받고 아 좁아들이셔.
So then the other root downfall that he'll address is the sixth root downfall, which is to disparage or despise the dharma of one's own tenet system or view, or of the views of others, is the sixth root downfall. And so actually this is sort of different from how, if you're looking at the text and there are the notes on the tantric vows in the text, and so the translation here for the sixth says despising the dharma of sutra and tantra, but actually the meaning in the Tibetan is to despise or disparage the dharma or teachings of one's own tradition or the traditions of others. And so, for instance, in this, we can think, to think of our themselves as Buddhists, and then to disparage or criticize or despise the views and teachings of other traditions, non-Buddhist traditions, would be a root downfall.
Zambuling shibde tunder tendra yung ya la ke chania re ngaran zo sangha ke tamche yu be chania re chulok chama la deni nga zo ke guyap dang danhang jangwa de pe karchim bore chulok chama na lekcha yo re chulok chama na ngaran zo ke chulok chama la danhang jangwa ina jangya ke chak chulok to so la tendra ke chakjin yo re Then Zangaran Soke Chulok Yin la Chadang Ke Kecha Xeya Dang so Mune Zabza Majena tung ko thon sang ha ka tong yong no yo ra nga chula chulo yin la ta ya po chi chulo yin la nga ra chu tara nang ba ri nang ba ma yin chulo yin tam je la ta nang ji go ri la ya de che de ga cham ka de po ge cha cham ri ma do ta tarang su nga ra chu ke tam sai hi yong ba kap su de ni ha ko yong do wa de yin za de ni chier gen zambelang ge chulo tam je la de ni nga ra chu ke negap zamla samno tamaina chulung thunder de pekar chamba chado chulung thunder yongwa de yang pinsu jegl la danang jangne thunder yongger ma do ke jegl la junju jen thunder yongya meba de nguyu ne sarwa de yinza teni jegl la danang jang de ba na ngaran so nangba yembe chane samno tamba na sosol khepsang do gains na 상하 그 자동 주기바 난게 상하 그 자동 조바 그 담책의 장살에 냐르 초거도 어 데라 인자 맞고게 남주 디 만동요 박갑서야 데 자동 주기 시작받아서 만동 박갑서야 된다 셈나 썸노 땅네 책동 카근동야 그 책대 the same na samyak samno deni tunbo ji den tunbo the 자적은 드라이브 요부터니 되니 남주 되니 자동주 이게 시작받아서 돈더나 야보 요래
The importance of this, of protecting this sixth root, or protecting from the sixth root downfall is that it really contributes to creating a global sense of peace and harmony among religions. So there's the two, like the two purposes. So one, there's protecting the samayas, the secret mantra samayas, and also it serves in such a way that it actually contributes to, or everyone were to think in this way, then it would really contribute to world peace and harmony in a very real way. And so it's very important to generally to always have an attitude of real respect and pure view toward the religions and spiritual traditions of others. This is really so important. If in discussing other religions, if we become really critical and we start to criticize and disparage other traditions, if we're not really careful, then there's danger of committing the sixth root downfall, or accruing the sixth root downfall of the tantric samayas, and so, to say, as Buddhists, while we hold our own views as Buddhists, we should also, it's important to likewise respect and really have an attitude of pure view with regard to the spiritual traditions and views of others. This isn't just to say something that sounds nice. It's not just, like platitudes, but it really is it really is a necessity. It's really an important practice to uphold, really and truly. If just think of how beneficial it would be if all religions had this practice of treating one another with an attitude of real respect, to really respect one another's beautiful traditions and spiritual practices and views. If this were commonly a common practice, then how much harmony would this actually create in the world? And so So if we practice generating pure view in that way, then we are both kind of contributing to this practice of developing or doing our part with regard to developing this sort of harmony, peace and harmony in the world. And then also we're really protecting the six of the secret mantra samayas. And so if we read in reading these, if we reflect, upon the meaning as we recite. So, for instance, doing the purification practice through confessing the 14 root downfalls, and then if we practice in that way, there's real benefit in regularly reciting the 14 root downfalls, and it also creates greater harmony. It has the function of actually supporting and developing harmony and goodwill.
Yang soso ke tepa ya ne chi nyamlin chi ya te yang soso la rawang yore tene perna namba ina namba ke tumba la tepa joya ta namba chu nyamlin chi ya te tang tene chulo soso la tene tumba yore soso la chu yore te soso tena nyamlin na na tepa ya ti chani soso la rawang yore tara tsama la tanang jangol la du chulo yong soba nyamlin chi tepa yo te la ko yo mare tang tes mandaba je yong yore te kain sina yang chi ta chitang tsama ka ha ko yore tanang tang tepa so te mandaba yimba te tenda yenzang soso ke kare nyamni chindu yo na te soso la rawang yo tsam te ndeke yore yina chungju chije te ten yongko yo mari chulo pinsin pala chungju ta ta tenda song so aina ndeke yo mari labdu ta kandar tel tin te ngaso la kangan che yongko yorwa teni hibde la kangan che yongko yore denja la kangan che yongko yore teni te ta tenda re yong na teni soso tani kansong ko wa donga ki jamso na yo la ko yore te kala teni ngatsu donga tepa anda wo ji zo go ya jimsen yo marwa.
So whether we take it so far as to having, faith in these other spiritual traditions, that's up to us. So that's one is kind of has the freedom to do what one likes, or one has the independence to do as one chooses with regard to that. So for instance, as Buddhists, we have faith in the Buddha, and we have follow the Buddha, we have faith in the Buddha, and other religions also have their their objects of faith and their own practices and traditions and so forth. So whether or not one chooses to also have a faith in those traditions and teachings or objects of faith is really up. That's a personal choice, a personal decision. So he isn't saying that by having pure view that we have to adopt the traditions of others or have faith in the traditions of others. That's not what is meant here. There's a difference. So pure view and faith are a little bit different. There's a difference there. But at the very least, one should avoid disparaging other traditions, other spiritual traditions. If one disparages or really criticizes other spiritual traditions, then that brings difficulty to oneself. That disrupts harmony and a sense of peace and happiness. So we're already wandering, experience the suffering of wandering in the three realms of samsara. So there's no need to bring more unnecessary suffering into the situation.
Oh yeah, tene ta dumba te yin tren. La mi jin je rang la yi pe nyam to te du ji chang cheng ke sep de tor de pangs. Ta te ke nan dun te ta so so ke zabla ma tang ge bi hi ni tam je ke dak jin la tin de tene so so ke nyam sa lang so tene sam dropa nyam nin je ne te so dakchin la tin tin so so la te sa nyam nyong da to pa dang to so te se ji ba te tene ta pichu lo par tang de ta pichu lo par tang hyo ko marwe ji 간다르 제 도미사 핀토미사라 되니 촐라라고 제 땅야와이나 대되니 하장 방보리 sonre.
So then, with regard to these 10 losses, then the seventh of these great losses is to destroy the experience and realization developed due to the Guru's blessing through meaningless diversions. So I sort of reworded it from the text here. The translation here is to lose the awakening experience achieved with the blessing of the Holy Guru amidst the clumsy, confused, and irreligious activities is a tremendous loss to this human life. And then to give you also an alternate version, it says, the seventh cause of loss is to discontinue following the instructions and practice after having gained a slight amount of realization through relying on a spiritual friend or guru. And then it goes further to explain that the cause for losing that realization is through distraction and meaningless activity. When one through the kindness and blessing of one spiritual teacher, relying on a spiritual teacher and following their fifth instructions, when through practice one has generated a little bit of experience or realization, to neglect that experience or realization that one has cultivated by becoming distracted or by instead changing one's focus to activities that are meaningless or don't really bring about any benefit, this constitutes a really immeasurable loss. That's all.
Tani teo de kruptam nam je minga samote mana karmi namla song de zong de pang song. Da krupta koma nam ke da minga da dangwa mambo yor da de so che chong na ba wen tani tana jiwa jab yaba na tin te ha chang pang bo re song re. Chitang ke ngarang so ta chu hepa kap se yang magu pa la chu ma he song wa tene magu pa la chu ma he song de za yin je to so tene chu la ku pa me ba chu la tene da nang me ba chu la tene do nang de yin jiang me ba to so la tene 다 추데 총제가 남반다고 제제네 총자야가 남바제네 대 제야바이나 대닝게 요마리 송리 대니 다 소소근은 제 닝지 친부가 돈에 다니 잠 장초그 샘름 보지 돈이 대니 이인라 제 소소로 서터비아 그 레완다고 당 단다 제 메부 돈이 다 짐바다와이나 짐바난 거 초도 줄 봐도 취차도 여러봐 대인자 꿀롱 또 돈이 유라동 연거 여러 참아 되니 대요 Samba get a megis cheda les. Ta samba get megi get chepa rimatoke, gedik la ya de zugni da chechong ralel mari songrova, then I inzam, teni natsoke, teni yin la chu, shebe caps young, da the so semen jogo at Karchimo, chad yoris.
So then the next line, or the eighth, it says, to sell out invaluable and profound instructions of the great siddhas to unfortunate and unworthy common folk for the sake of ordinary material benefits is a tremendous loss to this human life. So another version here, it says, the eighth cause of loss is a situation in which, having no genuine realization yourself, but having heard a great deal of the profound speech of the siddhas of the lineage, you repeat their speech to many people in order to attract students and become wealthy, popular, and powerful. You deceive many people by pretending to have realization. This is the eighth cause of loss. And so to teach Dharma, or to share the Dharma with an objective to become famous, or to become rich, or to gain some sort of material wealth or position, or some position, is a real loss, in that it is to engage in such a way shows a complete disrespect for the preciousness of Dharma. It shows actually lack of real interest, or real, it demonstrates a complete disregard for the value of the teachings, because then it just becomes like an object, an ordinary object that one is selling, something like this. And so, on the other hand, avoiding such sort of faulty or worldly motivations when it comes to sharing the precious and profound Dharma is so important. On the other hand, when one has really true compassion, when one has an attitude of bodhicitta, then if one, with the hope of really genuinely benefiting others, if one shares the Dharma, then it is said that there is no greater act of generosity than this. So actually, the act of sharing the Dharma, or the generosity of sharing Dharma, is the most supreme form of generosity, but it has to be motivated by pure intentions. So as is said, it is the degree of the virtuous intention, or independence upon a virtuous intention or a non-virtuous intention. This directly corresponds with the size of the karmic the karmic positivity or negativity. So whether something becomes positive or negative in a karmic sense, or whether it becomes, in the degree of that karmic result, or the karmic power of either positivity or negativity, it directly corresponds with the purity or the lack thereof with regard to the intention, or the degree to which that the degree of that virtuous intention, or the degree of that non-virtuous intention. And so when explaining or sharing the Dharma, it's so important that one does so with the greatest degree of wholesome intention possible.
Chizu chukching ni jayons.
Oh, that's all. So now we can take a break for 15 minutes. We can resume in 15 minutes. Chunga or gate? Gongda.
Chukchik.
Chuzugadubar? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. We'll come back at 11 o'clock. And 11 o'clock, so 2 o'clock our time. Rewa?
Paja injuringa hira.
11 o'clock. Yeah. So 11 o'clock in Arizona and on the East Coast at 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Njambar babe chedaran jimba dang kunda zambo deyan dejen de da kunje jisa dalos gewan da tam jirab. Thank you.